Goodness gracious above, if I'd have known when I started this that it was going to be so crashy, I'd have kept a crash counter. I want to say this game is broken 20 times in the time we've been going. In total, I mean, not like all at once. Ooh! That was a noise. Didn't expect that. Sorry if that made anybody jump, I guess. Alright, so get our room spun round, and we're gonna go investigate. We're gonna go investigate. Oops, that's the wrong way. So in theory, I think any one of these domes ought to have a book, according to Gehn's journal. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I had to go look at dunny numbering on the internet, because some of these numbers Gehn put down were complicated. From what I've been able to tell, I did find a thing that said this code was randomized, but it did have the numbers. So let's see, this is 20, so this is 19. This one is 16. This one is 12. This one's 11. And I think this one's 7, and if we've done everything correctly... It'll open, yay! Oh. Wait. Suddenly this doesn't seem like such a good idea. Yep, can't get out of here. We're making a new save. Interesting. Look at those mountains on mountains. What in the world are you doing when you write these ages? You know what this looks like is a badly spawned Minecraft world. Like something went wrong with the seed generation, or like back in the old days before like 1.4, when the terrain generator just kind of did whatever it wanted. Look at this. This is Houston, we have a problem.
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required of me a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen. I am Gehn. I assume you've heard of me. Yes. Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atris. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once. God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become. A great father indeed, who tries to murder his own son. Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks, no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions. That was 30 years ago. 30 years, 30 lifetimes, what does it matter? No sentence could be too harsh for the man I was. But I have changed. To be sure, the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable one. I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward. It's been a long time since I've attempted to persuade anyone of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer. Atris's choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven, and many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the Fifth Age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish. It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially in... Well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Catherine and the moiety. In any society, there will always be a small percentage of the population with rebellious tendencies. Before Catherine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves, had been relatively harmless. I mean, the natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I'd almost come to accept their presence. It seemed inevitable under the circumstances. Upon Catherine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them. And as far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself. So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people. I must admit, though, that my concerns were not entirely for her safety alone. The actions of Catherine and the moiety have put my own life at risk on numerous occasions. Consequently, the lives of all the people here. Therefore, I must ask you to refrain from any attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atris desires it. Indeed, he must desire it with all his heart. But he is completely unaware of her recent state. Which brings me to the point of all of this. The linking book you brought with you. You're very fortunate to have recovered it. If I may. Thank you.
Uh-oh, I think the jig is up.
Perhaps it would be best if you went through first. You may need some time to decide. That is reasonable. Until then, as a token of my good intentions, I will allow you free access to my linking books, crude though they may be, and to the rest of the Fifth Age.
Reasonable, thank you.
Please understand, there is nothing I want more than a chance to resolve matters between Atris and myself, especially in light of what has become of Catherine. But unless you are willing to demonstrate to me that your intentions are honorable, I cannot risk it. The sanctuary I've been writing for the Islanders is nearly complete. After all these years, it would be a shame if I were unable to finish it. The work I am doing is quite demanding. Please don't signal me unless you've decided to use the book. The switch will reset itself once you link from here.
Uh-huh. So from what I can tell, didn't Atris say something about the prison book? Oh, right. It does this. I feel like he said something about the here. Altering a linking book, partially severed. Unless someone else then uses the book, at which point that person would become trapped and the first person displaced back into the world. Call me crazy. Please call me crazy. But I have a really dumb idea. I have a really dumb idea. You've probably already guessed it. Alright, Gehn. I'm ready to prove we trust you. Yo.
I'm relieved you've returned. I thought perhaps you had decided against it.
Nah, we cool.
Here, I shall follow you directly.
Slam dunk. Is it me, or was that a sword? Oh my god, that actually worked. I'm really happy that my dumb plan worked. Okay. So, we're in a brave new world, and we're gonna cut this here. Because dumb plans ahoy, I'm gonna break something eventually. Because frankly, I'm gonna go poke Gehn at the very start when we come back. So I kinda want to do this in a new video, so we will be right back.